When was the last time you took a leap of faith, trusting that everything is going to work out? Do you crave growth, or are you merely content with the status quo? If you want more out of your life, out of your career, and out of your relationships, you are in the right place. Take the leap and discover how to create a life by design rather than living it by default. Real success starts with you. Now here's your host, Colleen Biggs.
All right. Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Take the Leap. I am your host, Colleen Biggs, and we are recording this toward the end of January. Most likely will be released the end of February or March. And so I kind of feel like moving into this quarter is about loving yourself. We've got Valentine's Day. So we're going to be diving in with our guest today, Roberta Hughes, on the Love Yourself Promise. And we're going to be talking all about that and the promises we can make to ourselves and how you can't love other people until you learn how to love yourself. There's so much of this I would love to get into with you as quick as possible. But before we do, I want to go in and really thank our sponsor of today's show, BizBolster Web Solutions. Imagine if you increase the visits to your website to have a consistent flow of new business. BizBolster Web Solutions designs websites and sets up tools that not only attract new prospects, but also starts building the know, like, and trust factor for those prospects when they land on your website. Through exceptional websites and targeted SEO, our clients are not only found online, but are also able to convey their area of expertise as well as the what's in it for me to their prospects. Imagine if it was this easy for you to increase sales for your business by driving more traffic to your website. Well, it is. Be sure to visit BizBolster Web Solutions at bizbolster.com to download your free SEO guide and schedule your discovery session today. I personally use BizBolster Web Solutions for my SEO, and that has increased from the reports I'm getting exponentially. So I highly recommend using BizBolster Solutions. The owner of that company is Lori Osborne, so be sure to look her up on Instagram and LinkedIn as well. And if you want to follow us today on our feed and our video, or when you're listening to this, if you're like, I really want to see who Roberta Hughes is, you can go find us on my Facebook page at Colleen Biggs. I'm the lady in the blue shirt. All right, let's go ahead and introduce Roberta today. She is the founder and lead instructor at PeaceFull Living, a boutique hybrid studio that conveys a delicate and personalized peaceful living instruction through customized Pilates, meditation, and yoga classes. PeaceFull Living grants clients a way to filter out life's pressures through a delicate and highly personalized approach through its live streams and on-demand classes, which again, I am part of this community for over 175 on-demand classes that she has online. Its nurturing and customized approach guides clients who desire to change their relationship with stress. Remember, it's about desiring to change that relationship. You have to want it. So she helps you reconnect in a very welcoming space from the comfort of your own home. I love that. Roberta, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Colleen. It's great to be here again. We were just talking about, it's almost been a year since I was a guest on your show.
That was when we first met. And I just remember the very first time I met you, and I know that my listeners are going to feel this way about you today. Your voice is so calming.
So I hear that quite often. Yes. Yeah. And I don't really try to make it that way. It's just how my voice is.
It's kind of like I don't try to have more energy. It's just who I am. And that's what I love about each one of us. We're so unique in what we do and how we present ourselves and how we show up, that if we just let all of the filters go and show up as ourselves, it's not only freeing, it's liberating, right? But also in the same breath, people really get to experience your heart and who you are, and you're transparent when you do that. So, Roberta, I have to ask, you've been at this for quite some time. Why choose Pilates and yoga and meditation as your business? Because many of us can do those for hobbies on the side, but this is something you really is to your core that you love so much. And no pun intended by saying core, because we all know Pilates is about the core. Why did you choose this path?
They were passions of mine throughout my life, and they're the three practices that continuously brought me back to a place of mindfulness and calm. And being a young mother, raising two boys, mostly by myself because my ex-husband was in the military, I needed tools to be able to take care of myself. I no longer lived close to home. My parents fed that for me most of my younger years. And then as an adult, I needed to take care of myself and to still enjoy the nurturing and nourishing that I got growing up. And I understand what a gift that was, but Pilates, yoga, and meditation, I think I realized that I could turn these into more of a livelihood when I went to work for Lifetime Fitness. And this was in 2009 that I was there. And we had such a successful studio. I was managing both the Pilates and yoga program. And I realized that these are practices that people need and want. And the part that I loved in that job as the manager was helping give the teachers the best students and the students the best teachers. So I was kind of the matchmaker, if you will, to make sure that both the teacher and the student were getting what they needed. And now I get to do that for myself. And that's still the part that I love the most, is making sure that each person that comes to PeaceFull Living is getting the content that they need and the care that they need to be successful.
Yeah, I think we brushed right over what PeaceFull Living really means. So naming the company that, what was your intention on how someone would feel with your brand?
That they are able to enjoy that place of peace and calm that's within themselves. And most of us in a busy life, in a busy world, get detached from that place of calm. And it's hard to come back to it all by yourself if you don't have the tools to do so. So PeaceFull Living is to be able to tap into that place within yourself with simple tools that actually work.
Yeah. So many, I would say from 2020, and I know a lot of people in 2020 when the pandemic hit, they were either furloughed or they, were working virtually, and some people didn't work for several months while companies were on hold until they got back to business. So it looked different for a lot of people. For me, 2020 through 2022, I don't feel like I let up off of the accelerator once. Like I just hit it, full down as fast as I could go and just grew, built. And I think many other companies might have done that, and they try to make up for the losses for part of 2020. And I feel where this world has gotten to now is there's just this constant, race, right? To do more with less. And individual people, their emotions, their connection to themselves, their connections to others are starving. They're struggling. And that's why we're seeing a lot of mental health come to the surface today, where people are feeling disconnected from other individuals, I think, in themselves. This topic today of the love yourself promise. What does that mean to you, Roberta, to love yourself?
To love yourself is an unconditional practice that on the good days, the bad days, the fun days, the hard days, that you can still go to bed at night at peace with who you are and accept yourself for all of the parts of yourself that show up. And also to be able to nourish and nurture the parts of yourself that are going to help you transcend some of those stumbling blocks, some of those hard moments, some of those difficult times. We all have our dark days, and the thing that can help us transcend those are the ability to love ourselves and a community and relationships that support that within us.
Yeah, I agree. Community is is key. And community can look like anything to anyone, right? It could be children that you have at home that is your community that surrounds you. It could be your immediate community of the people that are on your street, your neighbors. It could be the community at your church. I know you were at church last Sunday and you were really struck by a very powerful statement that you said your pastor made. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, he said, we are drowning in content and starving for relationship. And we're human beings. We were meant to be in relationship with other human beings. We weren't meant to be isolated and on our own. And as wonderful as technology is, it allows you and I to connect this way through a screen. It allows people to work from home, but also just getting out of your normal pattern and meeting new people who could support you. I've really made an effort to do that just within the last 6 months, and it's transformed how I feel about myself.
Yeah, that's really, really powerful. People are starving for relationships and connection. And that connection starts with ourselves. So you created this love yourself promise. And I like it because it's a commitment. It's a promise. And when you promise to do something for someone else, that's a commitment. We don't break it. But why is it that when we promise to do something for ourselves, we'll be the first to break that? Because somewhere along the way, we think, that's not as important as like the promise to eat healthy, right? Or, as we move into February and March in Arizona is one of the top states in the country that has the highest attendance for gyms across, Arizona. It's like ranked in one of the top 5 or whatever. But by February and March, they're empty.
Yes. And that happens nationwide. When I was at Lifetime Fitness, same thing, from January 1st to February 15th, I was parking so far away. It was a workout to get into the club. And by February 16th, we could have front row parking. As employees, we didn't do that, but it just shows how many people lead with the intention. And it is a great intention, but oftentimes people take up too much too soon, and it's hard to maintain that. It would be like, me saying, I'm going to run a marathon. I'm not a runner. So if I were to try to go out and run 13 miles tomorrow, I might be able to do it, but it would probably kill me. And I wouldn't want to get out and run again after that. And, choosing health and wellness goals is similar to that. You need to start with that first mile. You need to start with something that you can implement and practice and make part of your life, and then add a little bit more, and then add a little bit more. So you gain stamina through the process.
Yeah, it's like a relationship. When you first meet someone online or in person, you're not like, hey, let's get married and plan our family and how many kids we want to have. And, you're not doing that on the first date. It's not like, here's the finish line, right? And I think we need to remember that in everything we do, that it's a win just to take that first step and repeating that over and over. So you've done that with this love yourself promise. It's like a drip campaign of dripping a little bit of information throughout the month. Do you want to explain a little bit more about it and how it works? And this is something you've been doing annually now for quite some time, right?
This will be my 3rd year. And this year I have 9 presenters, including you, who are all offering content and workshops that will feed all aspects of a person, from their mind to their body, to their spirit, to their emotional body. And these classes are spread throughout the month. So we have a full schedule that you can see online, as well as access to all of my Pilates, Yin Yoga, Gentle Yoga, Zen breaks, and guided meditations. So those 2 are part of the calendar. And we try not to make this overwhelming because there is so much to have access to. Anyone who joins the Love Yourself Promise still gets a self-care success call with me so that I can help them navigate the things that they want to do and how they can start implementing those into their life. And the great thing about the Love Yourself Promise is each time we offer a workshop, it will go into the on-demand library people can enjoy it at any time. So if they're not able to make it to the live stream, kind of like your podcast today, Colleen, they can go back and they can rewatch, re-listen, gain a little more inspiration. And it's available to them through the on-demand library for a full year.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's nice. So they can get it for a full year. That's great.
Yeah.
And the cost of a full year of having that private kind of one-to-one, I mean, that is very expensive. So this is an amazing opportunity. I want to get back to the success call that you talked about and why it's so important for each of us individually to understand that you don't fit. You know, if you're a square peg, you don't fit in a round hole. We're all not the same. So someone like me who can just pump out a Pilates class or a yoga class or, you know, something that I enjoy. I love things that challenge my muscles and challenge my balance and challenge a lot of things. But that's because I'm a black belt. I've been a personal trainer. I've worked out my whole life. So I would want more challenging, right? There are certain things that Roberta would give me to apply into my life every day and what I could do versus someone who's never worked out. And if they've never worked out and they've never had, or they very lightly, maybe they're just a walker and they walk a half a mile or a mile or two a day, which is absolutely fantastic for your body. What they would want for their self-care and through their love yourself promise is going to look so different. Someone like me needs more Zen breaks, right? Because of the high energy, the plug in, the plug out method that I use. I need those little Zen breaks. I don't have time for 30-minute meditation. Maybe I should just say this. I don't want to make time for 30-minute meditations throughout the day, but little tiny breaks are really what assist me in getting, keeping going. So I love that you said that. And I did correct my language because we have to remember we have the time to do whatever we want to do. It's what we choose to do with that time. So you're either going to continue waking up, feeling aches and pains, not having, the lengthening of the muscles and not having the flexibility or not feeling healthy or whatever it may be, and illnesses sinking in. That could be your everyday life. And you're going to wake up and choose that every day. I just want everyone to hear that. Or you can say enough is enough. Somehow I got myself into this. It's not where I want to be. It's not how I want to feel. I need to change things slowly in my life. And that's what I love about Roberta, because she can help you change things slowly, anywhere from how much water you should just start drinking today for the next week to, and she has, areas on her website where she talks about nutrition and in her newsletters. And, so you definitely got to give her a follow. And we'll talk more about her Instagram because she's crazy busy on Instagram and very active. And you can get a lot of information from her, free information from her through Instagram. And so, what is that Instagram handle? You want to share with us what that is?
It's Roberta_PeaceFull Living, and full has 2 L's.
Yeah. PeaceFull has 2 L's. Yeah. I think that's where a lot of people make that mistake, right? Yeah. So it's going to be 3 L's. So PeaceFull Living, right? Yes. To get to the end. Tell us more about what the women or men that have attended this Love Yourself Promise. Talk to me about what are some of the outcomes that they've achieved through the Love Yourself Promise in the last couple of years that you've been running this program.
The number one thing that I've seen people achieve is the sense of community that inspires them to take the next step to what they want to do. So I've watched people who were very reticent and didn't really believe in themselves and had negative thoughts about body image and how much they weighed, how they felt, feeling like they were the only person in the world that felt that way. And then being in community with other people and hearing so many of us have those thoughts, we just don't let them make us who we are. And taking that step to lose the weight, to become active, to become connected with people who are going to inspire them rather than staying in their same relationships that may not be serving them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's wonderful. And community is key. It's why I created the LEAP community. It's why I build community with my clients. Community is crucial in support and celebrations, and knowing that you can depend on these women or men in your community, that surround you. It's why someone who is an addict that is recovering, whether it be alcohol or drugs or whatever that may, it's why they come together several times a week and have support groups, because that is what helps them stay strong, feel supported, and they know they have the support of the other people in the room. There's a reason why communities are created.
Yeah.
Everywhere. I mean, you live in a community. I live in a community. There isn't a person out here that doesn't live in a community. It could be an apartment building. You're in a community, an apartment building. Maybe you have, parties by the pool, or you do, little block parties or whatever it is, but we're in a community regardless. So I think it was so timely that you heard that message, that we're just drowning in content. And so this Love Yourself promise will deliver some insight to you, but it's really about the connection for you to yourself and for you to other people.
And one day I hope to be able to gather everyone who's participated in a Love Yourself promise for an in-person event, so we can really experience each other, in the real world and in real life. And I just want to share, I was speaking yesterday with someone who has enrolled in the Love Yourself promise, and she has started practicing with some of my yoga videos. And the very first thing she had told me when I had a conversation with her was, I don't do yoga. I don't like yoga. And I've never felt successful, and it hurts me. So we had a conversation about her body and about what might work. And I said, I would really love for you just to try this one class that I think might be good for you. And she had such an emotional outpouring. She was like sobbing by the end of the class, she shared with me later. And it was the first time that she felt successful doing yoga. And she didn't realize how much emotional baggage she had been storing in her body, even with all of the work that she does, because she too is more an intuitive, creative person who helps people move blocked energy. And she didn't think that she had any. So that was a big testimony that even if we think we can do it all by ourselves, sometimes we just need that little extra bit of support.
I love that. So true. And now that you're talking about in person, I think we should share with everyone that you live in Colorado and you have a studio there in Colorado that you practice out of. So did you want to talk a little bit about that? And then the events that you have planned in Arizona for the rest of 2023, because there's a lot of listeners that we have both in Colorado and in Arizona that could physically attend.
Here in the Denver area, I teach at Pilates Plus 2 days a week, and that schedule is on PeaceFullLiving.com. I also will be adding pure energy facial meditation. So I'm looking for a place to do that in person here in the Denver area. So keep watching the website. By the time this releases, I'll have a space and I'll be offering that service. And then on March 4th, I will be in Mesa, Arizona, offering the Art of Peaceful Living. And this is a 2-part workshop series that you can take both sessions or just sign up for the one session. We will be focusing on releasing tension and creating calm. That will be the feature of those 2 workshops on March 4th. And that too will be on my website by the time listeners hear this.
Yeah. And you'll be doing those every quarter in Arizona. So you'll be out here every quarter doing those. And, but you don't have to just see her in person. You can see her online. And congratulations, because I know that you've are going to be doing some filming with is it a breakoff brand from HotWorks, or did they purchase another brand at HotWorks?
HotWorks owns, it used to be called Planet Beach. Okay. And Planet Beach has kind of fizzled out over the years. And so they're rebranding Planet Beach to Soul Spa, and they're launching their first 2 shops, or spas, I should say, in New Orleans. And I know I don't say that the way I'm supposed to.
New Orleans. None of us do. You got to live there to say it properly. I know that for sure.
I feel like I'm doing a really bad imitation. So I just say it the way that it comes naturally to me. So I'm flying out. I'm getting on a plane later today, and I get to film their hot detox yoga and hot chakra meditation. And those will be offered at Soul Spa in the infrared sauna, which is so nourishing and healing. The infrared heat is for your body. And Soul Spa also offers infrared facial energy, massage chairs, I think a spray tan. So look online for Soul Spa and you can see their services. And as you know, Colleen, I'm an avid HotWorks member. That's what inspired me to audition for a virtual instructor position for that brand. And they just felt like I was a better fit for the Soul Spa, which I agree.
I agree too. Yeah. You would, I couldn't, with the energy that those instructors have with HotWorks, I really feel like the Soul Spa is just more of this Zen type of spa, and it's perfect for you. And how wonderful and congratulations that you were able to get that, to be able to have that spot as a virtual instructor. That's huge. It's very exciting. That just shows how great she is, y'all. I'm just telling you, she's amazing. So what is the best way for people to find you? We said Instagram, definitely go to Roberta, for PeaceFull Living on Instagram. You can find her. She's just adorable. What are some other ways that they can connect with you quickly?
They can go to the website, peacefulliving.com, and fill out the contact page. It comes directly to me. If you're on Instagram and you send me a DM, I will answer right away. I don't get to my Facebook messages as often, but I do check Facebook, and I'm also on LinkedIn, Roberta Hughes.
Okay, great. Yeah. So definitely connect with her in those areas. And so you've got to follow her on Instagram. So go give her a follow. Make sure you are connecting with her there. She has some amazing reels and videos out there. And I know one of her goals this year is to build that following and also to build, her presence on Instagram. And she's been doing a phenomenal job at that. So Roberta, we're so happy to have you here today. And I just want to remind everyone that's listening, you're the only you that's ever been. You're the only you that's ever going to be. You have to take care of this body that God gave you. It is your temple. It is your responsibility to take care of it. And if you don't love yourself, you couldn't possibly ask other people to love you the way you deserve to be loved, or for you to love other people the way they deserve to be loved. So start with you. And this Love Yourself Promise is one of the best ways to do that. When does the Love Yourself Promise start, Roberta?
The Love Yourself Promise is February 1st through the 28th. It's $60 to enroll. And if you use Colleen, all caps 20, you get 20% off of your enrollment. And even if you want to enroll on February 28th, the content is still available through our on-demand library.
Perfect. All right. Well, we will get that information out there for all of you. Go see the video on Facebook so you guys can see the video, and everything's at your fingertips. And don't worry, it's all available to you afterwards on demand, and you can still join the PeaceFull Living community. I know you can do that for free, and that's going to be available to you as well. We have those links for you to do that. So again, Roberta, thank you so much for being with us today on today's episode of Take the Leap. We're so thankful you were here.
Thank you for having me, Colleen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next week, don't forget, be you and be strong. Until then, bye-bye for now.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed our show today, as our guests shared their secrets on designing their life by taking the necessary leaps to expand their influence and attract the right people and clients into their lives. To start these easy steps for yourself, be sure to visit www.colleenbiggs.net/freebies to download the 7 ways to increase your exposure today.